You want 5 sneaky secrets to win any negotiation, especially when you are negotiating against narcissists. By the end of this video, I'm going to give you 5, and you need to stay till the end because the best one is saved for last. Hey there, I'm Rebecca Zung. I'm an attorney. I'm also a narcissist negotiation expert. And in these videos and on this channel, I give you sneaky secrets to make sure that you can shift the dynamic and become the most powerful person in the room against narcissists, against anyone, so that you can feel that you are empowered in any negotiation. And if that sounds good to you, make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Okay, so let's talk about sneaky secrets that you can use in any negotiation, but especially against narcissists. And what I say is, if you can negotiate against narcissists, you can negotiate against anyone. And the bottom line is, when you're negotiating, all people want to feel like they've come away with some value. The thing is, no one's going to settle for their worst day. All people want to feel seen, heard, and acknowledged. And that's why my book, Negotiate Like You Matter, is called Negotiate Like You Matter. And matter is actually the acronym for my methodology in that book. And M stands for my value is defined by me, because you and you alone define your value. And value can be internal or external, meaning that you have internal value, which is whole and complete and fixed. You know, we are all valuable as human beings. And then there's the external value, which is kind of defined by the market and all that sort of thing, you know, based on your skills and how much experience you have and all that sort of thing. But as human beings, we are all intrinsically valuable. But there are certain sneaky negotiation secrets that we can use to kind of win any negotiation based on just how you approach a negotiation, so that everybody feels like they're getting somewhere. Because if you want to get somewhere, you want to make sure that everybody is being acknowledged. So just thinking of it from that perspective, and especially when you're dealing with narcissists, because remember, they don't have any internal sense of value. They don't have that internal feeling that they have. They're trying to constantly layer it from the external. So you got to think about that as well. All right. So number one is start with areas where you might agree, and then work toward those more contested areas, the ones that are more hotly contested. And the reason why you do that is because that way you feel like you've got some common ground. That way you feel like you're building some momentum, like you're getting somewhere. Okay, you know, we've already agreed on these things. Look, you know, burn the bridge already. Why throw the whole thing away? Look at how much we've already gained. A lot of times, like, it's, oh, wow, we've already agreed on 99% of everything. It's just these last couple of things, you know, why blow the whole deal on just these last couple of things? So you pretty much can like wrap it up because you've agreed on most everything else. So you start with areas of agreement, then you work up toward the more hotly contested areas. Okay, because that way you feel like you've gained a lot of ground, right? So that's number one. Number two is you let the other person start with the first offer. Sometimes that's a way of letting them feel like they've got some control, especially when you're dealing with narcissists, where you're dealing with somebody who is a more toxic or more volatile personality. It gives them some feeling like they got somewhere right out of the gate. And a lot of times, actually, it helps you because you get to see where they're coming from. You get to see what's most important to them. So you get to see where their cards are. It educates you. Honestly, it helps you. So let the other person start with the first offer. So that's number 2. Let the other person start with the first offer. Let them have some control right out of the gate. That's number 2. Number 3 is start with a whole lot more than you actually want. Now, this is kind of a tricky one though, because you also don't want to start with so much more that the other person goes, I'm out of here. That's ridiculous. If it's so offensive that the other person just thinks they're just wasting my time and they just are out of there, then you've totally blown the deal. So you have to be careful about how much a lot more is. I mean, obviously you want to ask for more than what you want, especially because sometimes people really do have to be beat up by the process. I think this is tough for people sometimes. They think, well, I'm just going to be reasonable right out of the gate. I just want to be done with this thing. Let me just show them that I'm being reasonable. Let me just show them that I'm giving up all this. And if I give up all of this right away, they're going to see how much I'm giving up. They're going to see how reasonable I am. And a lot of times, if you're dealing with a narcissist, they just take. And that just gets taken and they don't acknowledge that. And they just want to keep going with that. And that just gets shoved to the side and not even acknowledged at all. And you end up feeling frustrated and taken advantage of. I would just be very, very careful about that. I do have another whole video on psychological tricks to win any negotiation, especially against narcissists. And I would definitely check out my video on that. Number 4 is throw them off the scent of what you actually want. And especially with narcissists, because if you tell them what you actually want, they will definitely go directly for that. And especially just to get back at you. And again, check out my video on the psychological tricks to win any negotiation. So be careful about that. The bottom line is sometimes you just have to take your ego out of it, because they do just want to get back at you. And the thing is, you just want to get to a resolution. You just want to get to yes. If you are a reasonable person, narcissists just want to jerk you around. They don't necessarily want to just get to yes. They just want to continue to manipulate you and see you squirm. If you're a reasonable person, you just want to get to yes. You just want to get this thing done. You just want to get to where you want to go. You just want to get to your goal. Winning is the goal, right? Or get to your wherever it is you want to go, so that you can move on with your life, right? So you want to get to yes. And if you agree with me, put yes in the comments right now. Okay. And the last thing is mirror their emotional body language so that they feel seen, heard, and valued. If they're feeling warm and they're kind of on the table and down like this and listening to you, you can do that too. If they're back like this and up and this way, you can do that too. Because when you kind of act the same way as somebody else and talking sort of similar to somebody else, they can feel that. They can psychologically feel that. And people want to be with people that are like them. And they feel more comfortable with people that are like them. And so when you're mirroring people's emotions and their body language, then they subliminally and psychologically feel more comfortable. And they actually start to feel more like, oh, I feel like we're in agreement. I feel comfortable with this person. And they feel seen, they feel heard, they feel acknowledged, they feel valued. And they feel more comfortable in coming to a resolution and agreement with you, which is what it is that you want. And remember, of course, if you do come to an agreement, to get it in writing, some kind of a writing, some kind of way of documenting that deal. Super, super important. So that's what I got for you. Sneaky negotiation secrets that you can use to win any negotiation. And if you are getting ready to negotiate, a couple of things here. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell, grab my free ebook, 15 pages at winmynegotiation.com. winmynegotiation.com, all yours for free. Join my free private Facebook group, Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung. And I'm so glad that you are here. I am so glad to have you as part of my community. Remember, today is always a great day to start negotiating your best life. It's a perfect day to slay. That is my brand. That is the name of my program, Slay Your Negotiation, because we are here to slay your negotiation, slay your life. We all can do it. You know, you only lose if you give up. You know, you never give in, you never give up. You can do this. All right. I will see you guys in the next video.